South Africa's unemployment line has lengthened. The country's jobless rate climbed to 33.2% in the second quarter, as the number of unemployed people increased by 140,000. The largest declines were recorded in the community and social services sector, followed by agriculture and finance. The expanded definition of unemployment, meanwhile, which includes those discouraged from seeking work, eased to 42.9% from just over 43% previously. South Africa is submitting a revised trade deal to the US. The move is in an effort to lower the 30% tariff imposed last week, which is the highest rate in sub-Saharan Africa. Trade Minister Park Stow says the revised offer builds on the one submitted in May, which included deals in LNG, agriculture, mining and pharmaceuticals. South Africa's government tried to negotiate a trade deal with Washington for months, but failed to reach agreement before US President Donald Trump's deadline. Mining outputs picked up. Production increased by 2.4% in June. This marks the second straight month of growth and a sharp acceleration from the previous month's gain of 0.3%. The bulk of that increase is due to higher platinum group metals production, which grew 3%. Merafe is bearing the brunt of a weak ferrochrome market. The miner's half-year headline earnings are more than halved, and it's lowered its payout by 80%. Merafe has pointed to sustained pressure from the prolonged economic downturn in the sector. It says high energy costs and increased competition from China led to the suspension of several of its smelting operations in the second quarter, and that demand for chrome ore units is also lower. Despite the performance, Merafe is cautiously optimistic. It expects to benefit from stability in energy supply and the effective implementation of recently proposed regulatory changes. Fintex hiked its interim dividend by 47%, following a surge in half-year profit. The group's headline earnings per share come in 45% higher, amid a solid showing by its fintech division. That unit is Fintech's primary driver of growth. CEO Sean Wibbeleys pointed to a rapidly expanding customer base, which now sits at 3.7 million, and says the group is poised for continued profitability, innovation and long-term impact in digital financial inclusion. Sasol is eyeing a sharp increase in annual profit and says its headline earnings per share could double due to higher chemicals prices and cost-cutting measures. Sasol has also pointed to lower impairments of 20.7 billion rand versus the near 75 billion rand previously. The Chemicals and Energy Group is said to present its results in 2 weeks' time. Sirus has bolstered its UK portfolio. The operator of branded business and has added Hartlebury trading label. That's in a deal for £101 million. Sirus says the deal is transformational for its BizSpace platform in the UK, increasing the size of the portfolio by 18%. Jubilee Metals plans to sell its Chrome and PGM assets in South Africa, and that's for a price tag of up to $90 million. The miner says the operations have reached a stage of maturity that would require a major capital outlay for further growth, and that the sale will allow it to focus on copper, which attracts greater investor recognition and higher valuation multiples. Jubilee's added that proceeds will more than cover the short-term capital needs of its copper business. In international news, China's government has advised local companies to steer clear of Nvidia's H20 AI chips, especially for government projects due to security concerns. Here's more detail in this package report.
Chinese authorities have reportedly urged local companies to avoid using Nvidia's H20 AI chips, particularly for government-related purposes. A report by Bloomberg News cited people familiar with the matter. It said that authorities have sent notices to a range of firms discouraging the use of the less advanced semiconductors. with the guidance reportedly taking a particularly strong stance against the use of Nvidia's H20s for any government or national security-related work. Reuters could not immediately confirm the report. It comes after China's state media said the H20 chips pose security concerns and doors that would allow remote access or control. It also follows comments from US President Donald Trump. He suggested that he might allow Nvidia to sell a scaled-down version of its next-generation advanced GPU chip, Blackwell, in China. That's despite deep-seated fears in Washington that Beijing could harness US AI capabilities to supercharge its military. The most advanced chip Nvidia is currently allowed to sell in China is the H20. The Trump administration last week confirmed an unprecedented deal with Nvidia and AMD. It will give the US government 15% of revenue from sales of some advanced chips in China.